Okay. Oh, okay.
You can hear. Okay, I think I'm live on all the mediums. So let me know if you can see me, hear me in the comment section. My name is Priya. I'm an internationally licensed and certified Heal Your Life coach, and I'm working in this field for almost like last 12 to 15 years. Today, the agenda for Instagram Live, YouTube Live, and Facebook Live is very simple. It is to take you one step further, one step deeper into your own journey of healing and transformation. Because for last couple of months, things have been not very stable within us and around us, and I have been getting a lot of clients messages from my clients and asking me that, Priya, how do we go deeper in the work that we have been doing? So just to take you little more forward and little more deeper into your own inner journey of healing. And now I'm going to use the word transformation from here. So today's topic is moving you from healing to transformation. So as most of you now know me, and you also know that I specialize in Louise Hay's work. So let me know in the comments, where are you joining me from, on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook. And have you ever read Louise Hay? So, and if this is your first live with us, let me know in the comment section, and I'll try and answer as much as I can. Okay, so little bit before I begin, I want to tell you about my own journey with the book. And first, I got my hand on Louise's first book, which was You Can Heal Your Life. And for me, it is my go to book for years. But then there's another book, which is which has a pearl of wisdom in almost every chapter, every page. In fact, it's very deep, and it literally moved me at a very deeper level. And whenever I work with my clients and whenever I've suggested this book to them, most of them have come back and they have given me the same feedback what I have been feeling with this book. So the first thing I want to tell you about, what attracted me towards Louise's work and what attracted me towards her first book, which was You Can Heal Your Life, was the simplicity and the language. When you're reading the book, you'll actually feel like you're a friend or someone very wise is talking to you. And every time, every page, every chapter feels like, aha, oh, yeah, oh, yes, this happens to me all the time. So it is like that. So that connection goes like it's very simple, but it's also very deep. And what changed in my own life. So I was handed the book You Can Heal Your Life when I was in my one of my training sessions. It was actually my NLP training session, which I was doing in Mumbai. And hi, thank you for joining us. Welcome, welcome. So in one of my training sessions, a colleague of mine, she handed the book to me, Heal Your Life, and I looked at the book, I looked at the pages, I looked at the cover. It was a cute looking yellow colored book. Imagine a cover, the audacity, the cover which was yellow in color, and it had heart coming out of it like a rainbow shaped heart. And I saw the book for the first time. I just flipped the pages and I was like, oh, very nice, but I don't need any healing, and I gave it back to her. After 4 months, I was in the hospital, and I was diagnosed with a degenerative neurological condition, and wherein the doctors were ready to give up on me, and they were like, this is something which cannot be treated, and I was devastated as a young girl. And at that time, again, I remembered my friend, you know, I remembered the book. I called her. She gave me all the details about the book. And I was walking out of my neurologist's office, and I saw this book on a pavement. Like those booksellers who sell the second-hand kind of book. So I asked my husband to stop the car. I just ran towards the book. I picked it up and I asked him, Bhaiya, how much? And he was like, ma'am, you just, you don't have to, it's not a lot. So you just pay me whatever you want to pay. And I just got the book and I was like, okay. And then I realized that after initially I couldn't really work with the concepts given in the book. It looked very simplistic, but it was not very easy to apply, because you're so much into your own old patterns, and you're so much into your just thinking and doing things, and you're constantly on the treadmill, and if somebody tells you to get off that treadmill, it feels very painful at that time, isn't it? So that was about it. And then I found a teacher who could actually make me understand the concepts. And she was here in New Delhi. I found her, and then I did my 2-day workshop. And after that, there was no looking back. I did my teacher training, and then I became a certified and licensed teacher. And since then, I've been doing this work. So it's been 14 years now. Yeah, so almost. So, what surprised me the most while reading the book, that the affirmations, man, they work if you're doing it right. So, a lot of people will say, oh, but they are just affirmations. I keep repeating, they're so silly. Yes, I agree. It does feel silly initially. But once it becomes a part of you, it becomes, yeah, the way you get to train yourself, you get to train your subconscious mind, it works. And always remember that healing is not about just fixing yourself, it is more about remembering who you are. And the more you approach, hi Jagrati, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I will be adding you and Sonali in just a bit. So, it is just about remembering who you truly are. So, in my opinion, books don't just change our life, it is the conversations we do around them. That's what really changes our lives. And that's what has been our journey with the Heal Your Life book. Now, I have two wonderful friends who have joined me today for this wonderful Instagram live. Uh, they're tremendous professionals. They're working in the same field as I do. And Sonali is a good friend of mine. She's also a yoga teacher. She's also been working in this field for many, many years. And then I have Jagrati joining us. And we studied the book together, the first book, You Can Heal Your Life, and we got tremendous results from that. So why don't you hear it directly from them? So over to first Sonali, to you, and
Yeah.
then I'm going to add you also, Jagrati. Okay, so first it's over to Sonali. Okay, Sonali, so why don't you share what you felt when we were reading the book together, and
Hi,
about
Priya.
you?
Hi, Priya. Good evening, everyone, and so happy to be here. And thank you for calling us over to share our experiences with the book. So, I think, like I have probably mentioned to you before, I had read the book on my own. Once I think I took a copy from you long back, and I had read the book on my own in parts. And how I read a book is like, especially a book like this, I would generally, pick up and, read one chapter and will generally not read it in a flow. But when we did the book reading with you, in a structured manner, chapter by chapter in a group setting, I think it just had a very different therapeutic effect on the whole concept of reading this book, which is actually, like you just mentioned, it is very simple. It's written very, very simply, like a friend is talking to you, yet it hits you so deeply because every word Lewis has written, it's just, it just touches your soul.
True.
And yeah, I think it's also my go-to book. So anytime, especially if you're low or something, and you just randomly pick up this book and read any page of this book, you just instantly, feel lifted up. And same as you, I just love the way the affirmations are written. Like, I know a lot of us, we believe in affirmations and we read and we, practice different kind of affirmations, but the way Lewis has written the affirmations, I think they go a level deeper than the usual affirmations that we do. So I really do resonate a lot with the affirmations and the way the book is written. So yeah, it's been a beautiful experience, Priya, reading the book together as a group along with you.
Thank you so much, Sonali. Thank you so much for sharing. So, any special affirmation or any go-to affirmation which you have from the book?
So there's so many, but I think every chapter, at the end of every chapter, there is this first line that Lewis has written: in the infinity of life where I am, everything is perfect, whole, and complete. I think this is something which has just gone very deep inside. And this is something that I keep coming back to. And this is,
प्लीज
you know,
लाइव है ये
when things
ये
are
तो लाइव
tough,
से बहुत
when
सारे क्लाइंट के सामने
even when
करते हैं
things are easy and
सुनाई
when
दे
you're
रहा हूँ आप बोलो तो
struggling with different things in life, this is just one simple, very, very simple statement which you keep coming back to: in the infinity of life, because the life is finite, and we are just looking at this present life that we are looking. So if we just go deep in this one line, I think this is one line that I keep coming back to. And of course, there are many, many beautiful affirmations that she has given on every aspect of how we deal our lives. But this is one line that has stayed with me.
Beautiful. For me, my favorite affirmation is I trust life. I get up every day in the morning, and that's something that I tell myself in a world where, we've become so untrusting of each other, of life itself. The We know the things that are happening with the world and the world leaders, and people just don't want to trust each other. And the other day, I was reading this in Louise's next book, which I'm going to talk about in a bit. But before that, I'm going to uh, give it over to you, Jagrati. So I think I've muted you. Could you unmute yourself?
या डन
Okay. Anything else you want to share, Sonali, before we give it to Jagrati?
No, I think what you just mentioned, this lesson also stayed with me. If you just talk about the topmost thing that stayed with me from the book was something that I trust the process of life. Like, we've heard this one statement and we hear this so often now, especially on Instagram, post and everywhere, where we understand this one line, I trust the process of life. But when you read Lewis's story, you actually understand that even when you are like in a miserably, low state of your life, how you can rise above that by simply trusting the process of life. So yeah, so this has really stayed with me from the book. um, I think, yeah, that's the most important thing that I wanted to share about the book. Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing your pearls of wisdom. And I know that you work with a lot of clients and you do amazingly good work, with body movement and yoga. And you're also incorporating self love and you particularly handle women's group, and you also handle expecting women's group, pregnant women's group who are about to give birth to a new life. So this is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for all of us to incorporate that in the wonderful work that we do. Thank you so much, Sonali, for your
One thing
time.
I will like to add before we move on to Jagruti, just one more thing. I think Lewis also talked a lot about healing the body. There is another book where she talks about, and I think in this book also we have a whole chapter on the relation between emotions and the body.
And the
And
body, correct.
somewhere, in my teaching of last about 10 years of teaching yoga, yoga philosophy also talks about how our mental and emotional states affect our physical state. And Lewis so beautifully, has explained how every state of our how every emotional state affects the body. What is the manifestation of that emotional state in our body? So that part is really beautiful in the book, and I could especially relate to that part because this is something that has been a part of the yoga philosophy as well, that how mental and the physical states are so closely linked. And I know a lot of people now realize the importance of also having a very healthy emotional and balanced mental state of mind, so that you can also stay physically fit. So it is a, I think it's just very closely knit. You have to work on your physical body as well as your mental and emotional states at the same time. They're not in isolation. So this is a big part of the book, and I that's also one of my favorites part of the book, where she talks about how you can heal your body. So
Yes, absolutely. Thank you
yeah.
so much for sharing. So, people who just joined us, so you are asking that what we are talking about. So, we are talking about taking you from a journey to of healing to transformation. My name is Priya. I'm a licensed and certified Heal Your Life coach, and I conducted this book reading of You Can Heal Your Life about 6 months ago. And then we did another book reading, which was 21 Days to Mirror Work, which was like this intense workshop for 21 days. And now I'm here to introduce another book to you. But before that, let me introduce my another dear friend. Her name is Jagruti. She's joining us from Hyderabad. She's also a healer. She's also a workshop leader. She does tremendous work around healing, healing the subconscious mind, healing your emotions. So over to you, Jagruti. I need you to share your experiences, that how you felt when we were reading You Can Heal Your Life, and whatever you want to share around the book.
Thank you, Priya, for having me over here and giving me this platform to talk about this book. Yes, the experience was beautiful, and let me tell you, the most important thing is reading book alone is different, and reading book in an in a closed atmosphere is completely different. And when you were reading that part, you were holding that space for all of us. It was the mind blowing experience during the whole reading part, and after that the way we were conversing about it, it was so beautifully done. Alone reading is different, and this was like as if Louise is already there with us and she is teaching us. And the last part of every chapter, the way you were taking us through the procedure of that, the healing procedure in the last, every time it was there. And that was so beautiful, so relieving, because we could read that book and live that book in that moment and connect with it, because every time this was happening for a once in a week, and it went on for almost like 2 months, 2.5 months. But the journey was very beautiful. The one thing that connected with me the most was forgiveness ritual, because a lot of time the criticism and all, we are aware of everything. People around us do keep criticizing for whatever we do, good or bad. But then when you come to this chapter 7 and how to change and understand the system altogether, and the forgiveness ritual that she has given in this, it was so beautiful. It's not that you are forgiving the other person, it is the forgiving your own self for not being aware of so many things, and
Mhm.
still letting things go and accepting yourself as you are. that
Mm,
had stayed with me a lot, because after reading the whole book also, there are times that when we go down or we get irritated with the other person, and that is when this forgiveness thing keeps striking us. It is okay, let them be what they are, because every soul is in their own evolvement journey. And that is the understanding of overall concept that I had ki, okay, even Louise, after so many years, she had written this book so many years back. That
mm,
time also the same thing was happening what we are living today. And it's not like it's na aaj ki baat nahi hai ye. From
correct.
that time it is there. And the thing of forgiving, understanding, letting go situations, letting go our emotions, and accepting ourselves, starting our day with a new thought process, with a new thought mindset, was wonderful with me, and it stayed with me a lot. The best part was we were reading it in a group. So generally for me, reading is like, oh my god, acha abhi ye bada padna padega. And then because see, sometimes the words are so heavy and the things are so heavy that, and we keep on reading. I am a person, people's person, so I need individual to discuss about it. And
Mm,
when we were reading that in a group, it was so beautiful. Like at the end of each class, each session, we had different perspective from different individuals involved in the book reading part. You were able to ask us, give us the space where we can speak our mind out, and
mm,
we were able to listen to other person's point of view as well. So this was like, holistic healing online,
yes.
beautiful journey altogether. And thanks to you, Priya, for holding this amazing space for all of us and giving us this beautiful place. Because Louis, it was like, I told you earlier also, Louis herself is talking from you and
Yes.
making us live this part. And it's beautiful journey. And
Thank
remember that every book of Louis, and after our reading sessions, we are not the same person what we
We are
had
not.
started.
We
We
are
are not.
absolutely not. And I'm so glad that you are so generous in your sharing. And yes, I agree with you 100%. When I also read the book every time, it is literally like Louise is talking to me. It's a guidance, you
True.
know. And forgiveness, yes, I'm so glad you spoke about this, because a lot of times, a lot of people think that it's the most difficult thing to do, but it
True.
doesn't have to be like that. They always think that forgiveness is like, it's like ripping off a band-aid and all of that. And but it's really not like that, no. And she has made it so simple, so beautiful, and I would also say easy,
Easy,
and
exactly.
the way she says, just be willing to forgive, that's all, and the universe will take care of itself. And I have seen this happening in my own personal life, what happens when I forgive and let go. And I have seen this happening in my clients life also, what happens when they tend to forgive, so on that note, is there something else you would like to share,
Yeah. There was
Jyoti?
one more thing. It's like, see, I keep talking to a lot of clients of mine and a lot of people here. So what happened one day was like one lady very clearly asked me, how can we forget the other person when he or she has done so bad with us? So
Correct.
that is the thought process that keep holding on to them, because they hold on to that grudge. And see, during this whole healing process, they said, how we don't want to forget them. So the
Hmm.
way Lewis has very clearly given that there is a child in you who want to punish that person or who want to hurt that person. So instead of going physically and doing that, no, that ritual was so beautiful that you are imagining it, you're doing it, and just then done with it. Just let it go. Because holding on to those grudges will not, it's like we taking poison inside and thinking about the other person to die, which is not
Right.
possible.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that was the thing
Absolutely.
that affected with me. Like, okay, forgiveness is not for the others. It is for our own self and our
That's
own body too. We can touch each and even every part of our body and say we forgive it. Forgive
Mhm.
ourselves for not knowing what we have gone through and why we have got that pain in our own body, and let it flow. And when
Mm.
things happen that way, yeah, our body heals naturally, beautifully, because our body has the power of healing from within.
Correct.
Medicines and medical support is definitely there, but there has to be that willingness, the way you said, the willingness to let go and be free in your body. So
Absolutely.
I just love the book.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure you're going to love the next one also, which we are going to read very soon, starting this Wednesday. So, guys, whoever who've joined us just now, I want to tell you that we are talking about moving from healing to transformation. We read our first book, You Can Heal Your Life, just about 6 months ago. Then we did our mirror work. And now I'm going to be starting another book very soon. But before that, I want to thank Jagrati and Sonali for being here with me today. And guys, you heard these beautiful ladies. They are constantly telling you कि अकेले बुक पढ़ना बहुत मुश्किल होता है, टाइम नहीं मिलता है, हम टाइम नहीं निकाल पाते हैं. Lekin, when we do it in a group, I also take you through a journey, and that's why I call it a guided book journey. So it's not just about reading the book; it's also about the reflections that's going to come after that. It's also about the meditations we are going to do along the way, and you're going to get so much more if you join me on this journey. And guess what? It's absolutely free. So we're not charging you anything for this. So just come along, hop on. Before that, I close the session for this part. I want to really thank Sonali and Jagrati from the bottom of my heart. I know you have very busy lives and still you took out the time to be here with me on this live session today. So thank you so much. If you want, you can continue, or if you want, you can drop off now. Thank you so much for
Thank
being.
you,
Thank
Priya,
you,
for
Priya.
having me.
Thank you so much for calling us over
Can you
and,
show the book cover, Priya, now for the new book
giving
that
us
we
an
are going to read?
opportunity to share our experiences with the audience.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
I will
Yeah.
I will do it just in a bit, Jagruti, but before that, I want to share some four lessons which we learned from the first book, which was You Can Heal Your Life. It is very important because that is the foundation. Until and unless we have the foundation very strong, it is very difficult to build the castle. So, in order to have a great castle or a great palace on the soil and of our mind, I think it's important that we build the foundation. So for that, I want to share that there are about four lessons which I personally learned and liked, and I have heard it time and again from my friends and clients and everyone. Number one is the biggest lesson from You Can Heal Your Life book is that our thoughts become our reality. People so often say, "Oh, it's only a thought." No, it's not just a thought, because before it turns into a behavior, before anything happens in your body, it is there in the ether, in your mind. So our thoughts in the mind, they turn into our reality. Number two, we are all dealing with the damaging patterns of anger, fear, guilt, resentment, and criticism at some level or the other. All of us. Number three, like Jagruti beautifully said, forgiveness. Forgiveness will set us free. It will pave the pathway to love. Love for ourselves and love for everyone around us. Number four, be willing to learn to love yourself. No matter where you are in your journey, don't wait for the day, oh, when I'll get that paycheck, or oh, when I'll, lose my weight, or oh, when I'll meet that wonderful guy and the man of my dreams or the woman of my dreams. No, that's not going to happen. You will meet them, you will lose weight, you will earn more money only if you learn to love yourself. Like I just said, the foundation has to be strong, and self love is the foundation, is the key. So these are the four lessons which I think beautifully translates into our life lessons also, which Louise talks about. So uh, now it's the time to take off the curtain from the final thing that's coming. Dun, 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 drum rolls, please. So, this book
Yay!
is called The Power Is Within You. This is another
Absolutely.
Louise's book. This is intense, ladies and gentlemen. This is not something which you can take lightly. Like as they say in Durandar, ladies and gentlemen, you're still not ready for this. You're clearly not ready for this, because the power is within you. is the journey that will take you from healing to transformation,
Absolutely.
so that's like a deeper level. So it's not a different philosophy. Once again, I'm saying it is everything that we learned from the book You Can Heal Your Life. That's why, I summarized it just now for you, and it will help you to implement it. Now we know the concepts, we know self love is important, we know forgiveness is important, we know understanding the connection between our mind and our body is important. We know understanding our thoughts is important, where it's coming from, and all of that is important. But this book will really help you to apply it in your daily life, in your relationships, at your jobs, or whatever you want to do in your life, you know. So, I want to very quickly tell you what are the themes of this book. So, this book is divided actually into four parts, four beautiful parts. Wait a second. It's four, no, five. Actually, it's five, yes. So, number one is becoming conscious. That is the first part. Awareness. I always talk about this. There are four pillars on which intuitive wisdom stands. Number one is awareness, so is the book. So, number one is becoming conscious, realizing the power within. So many times, or whatever you want to call it, God, higher self, or whatever you feel comfortable with. Louise also says that. You're free to call it whatever it is. She calls it the power within. And we are going to explore that. We are also going to be talking about following your inner voice. Because our inner voice is all knowing, all encompassing. It knows everything. All the answers are within us. We do not need to look outside of us. We do not need to ask ChatGPT. We do not need to ask Claude. We do not need to ask Google and Gemini for the questions, because the questions, I'm talking about the questions that you face about yourself, about life, the important decisions that you want to make. So all of that is already within. वो चिप हमारे अंदर डाल के हमें भेजा हुआ है भगवान ने. But still, I don't know why we are looking for Claude and ChatGPT.
It's a
Next,
gut feeling.
it's a gut feeling, exactly. And the gut will know it before you have even entered the room. That whether I should walk inside this room or whether I should just turn around and run away, you
True.
know? So the power next is the power of spoken words. Very important. People take it very lightly, but actually, the words, the thoughts we think, and the words we speak, and the food we eat actually create our reality. Next is reprogramming old tapes. How many times it has happened that something happens and we just immediately go into our old way of behaving, our old way of reacting, you know? And I will give you a test. All of you who are listening also, just do this test once. हाँ, एक पानी का ग्लास लेने का और उसको just spill it on the table and then see what happens. What happens to your subconscious mind? Do you want to yell? Do you want to scream? Do you want to hide under the table? Or do you want to rush for a cloth and just want to clean it quickly? Yeah. Yeah. So that's see how our old programming, and how many of you actually would still stay calm? That हाँ ठीक है कोई बात नहीं पानी गिर गया, it's okay, it's all right, you know. So just see what happens. So reprogramming those old tapes is very important. Next is dissolving the barrier. So this is very important because a lot of it also comes from our past, and this is actually the blocks that we are dealing with. This is where we stay stuck, or we want to stay stuck because it feels comfortable. Then we want to do everything. We want to go to the bar. We want to drink away our pain. We want to watch Netflix, and we want to just do binge watching and doom scrolling and all that. But we do not want to deal with our feelings. We do not want to talk about it. So letting your feelings out is another very important chapter, which is chapter number 6 in this. And then moving beyond the pain. Transformation ऐसे तो नहीं आएगा ना, obviously. So moving yourself gently beyond the pain. The next is the third part is the, I call it the cream, which is loving yourself. And here, how to love yourself. So many times and so many platforms I've talked about this. Everybody talks about self love. Every other influencer you see on Instagram wants to talk about self love. The Gen Zs want to talk about self love, but nobody tells you how you talk about self love. Going to Jantar Mandar and protesting. Ask yourself, how am I being loving to myself? When you take an action and just step back, take one step back and ask yourself this one question. I am going to do this action. How is it going to serve me? Or how am I going to love myself? How is it proving that I love myself? Next is growing up and getting old. I live in a place where I see a lot of old people around me, and I also have a lot of old people in my family also. And the fear of getting old and then dying is real. No, people don't want to talk about it, but that fear is really there. What will happen? Everybody want to prepare us for how much money we are going to make when we get married, what we'll do with our children, how we deal with our spouse, our partners, and all that. There are so many reels out there for all of that, giving us gyan, but nobody tells you how to die, isn't it? Louise
Right.
has taught us how to die, you know so this chapter is also very important. Then fourth part, which is applying your inner wisdom, it's more like reinforcement of what we have already learned in our daily lives through, number one is receiving prosperity. Number next is the, which is the 12th chapter, it is expressing your creativity through your work or whatever you do. Then next one is the totality of possibility. So what if I let go all of this? What if I have moved beyond my pain? What if I've expressed my feelings, all of that? What will happen? So that is about the totality of possibility. I also conduct a workshop just for this one chapter, based on this one chapter, and that workshop is called the totality of possibility.
Wow.
Yeah. And then now the last part, which is letting go of the past. Again, like I
That's
said,
the key.
we want to stay stuck because it is past, it is something which we know, it is something which we are comfortable with. So we need to let it go. In order for us to move forward, it is very important to let go of the past. So, how do we bring about change and transition? That's chapter 14. Chapter 15. Listen to this very carefully. Again, this needs a drum roll. This is the last chapter, and it says, a world where it is safe to love each other. Louise
Wow.
always says this, that human beings need to know that they deserve peace. And
True.
we need to create a world where it is safe for us to love each other, love ourselves, and then love each other. So, this is what we'll be covering in the powers within you. Now, as I'm already at 38 minutes of this live, thank you so much for all of you who've joined me. I've been wanting to read one chapter introduction actually from the powers within you, but I don't think I have the time. So I'm quickly going to tell you what you expect from the guided reading. Like I said, that there'll be reflection questions. So it's not just going to be me reading the book. We'll also be doing some reflection. I will be giving you some questions on which you can reflect on, or journaling prompts, you can call it. You can journal about it. We will be doing some practical exercises, which is given in the book or otherwise. We will have weekly, the group is always very close because the conversations are very intimate. Now, the sessions are usually, the readings are recorded, but the sharings are not. So, once I'm done with the reading, the participants are welcome to share their experiences, whatever they have reflected upon, all of that, but that is all very confidential. So that doesn't get recorded. Only the readings are recorded, and that will be shared with you, whoever will participate. It's a safe community. So we have, inculcated this community. We've been doing this for almost a year now, and how the community and everybody comes together. So, and how everybody is okay to share. And once the power of sharing is also just so much. So the presence that there are so many people who are listening to you out there, and there are so many people who are wanting to learn from you. And there's so many times it has happened that, like, I have always experienced this, that the perfect group comes together.
Absolutely.
Never in my life. I have conducted, I got know so many workshops, I have lost count. And over last 12 years at least, I have realized that not even one group that has come and I have felt, oh, अच्छा नहीं ये नहीं होना चाहिए था group में, नहीं ये नहीं होना चाहिए था. No, it never happened. Every person, it's like, a beautiful necklace, and every person is playing their role uh, in that. So that's about it. And then last one, which is accountability. You're there. Uh, there are so many people with you who are going through a similar kind of journey, and we hold each other accountable. And I do hold my participants accountable. I do hold my coaches accountable for what they are doing. Yeah. So here the idea is not just to hold a vision, but holding a vision which is greater than they themselves. You know,
Absolutely.
so that's what makes it purposeful. That's what intuitive wisdom and its values stand for, and I stand for. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to be sharing a group
Yeah, I
invite.
just want
Just
to add one more thing.
yes.
And the way you hold this whole journey is really beautiful. The way you express each and every word, those feelings, the way you handle the situations, the way you handle our conversations after that also is really beautiful. And I would recommend maximum people to join this session of book reading with you, because you will never experience this kind of a person, this kind of an amazing soul that you are. That's the beautiful journey that you will go through. So it is not just going through it, it is growing through this book that you will have this journey.
Thank
So
you so
more than
much.
welcome a lot of people. So I would love to be a part of it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words. You're always so kind. So I'm going to be sharing a link to join our chat. You can join our group with this, and then there will share all the details. So let me know if you can see. I've shared it on YouTube, and I think you should be able to see it on Instagram also. Okay, I can't see it right now, but I'm going to just type this chat. Okay, I can see all the people who have joined on Instagram. Okay, thank you guys for whoever has joined us through Instagram and been there with us for these 45 minutes that we are on our live. Thank you so much. So that's a chat link. Girls, let me know if you can see the chat link. And okay, so this was about it. Before I close the session, I do want to read some lines from The Power is Within You, so you know how powerful this book is. And yes, so this is the introduction, and I'm just going to read one paragraph. I wanted to read the whole introduction bit, but it's 3 pages, and we are already at 45 minutes of our life. So I'm just going to read one paragraph. So the power is within you. This is, I have my old copy, but this is how the new book looks like. And I've also shared the link. You'll get it on Amazon. So you can order it directly from Amazon. So, the introduction, where Louise is talking to all of us. She says, I'm not a healer. I do not heal anyone. I think of myself as a stepping stone on a pathway of self discovery. I create a space where people can learn how incredibly wonderful they are by teaching them to love themselves. That's all I do. I'm a person who supports people. See how simple. I help people take charge of their lives. I help them discover their own power and inner wisdom and strengths. I help them get the blocks and barriers out of the way so they can love themselves no matter what circumstances they happen to be going through. It doesn't mean that we will never have problems, but it is how we react to the problems that makes a tremendous difference. So, just one paragraph, and yet, like such pearls of wisdom, isn't it? Okay, so thank you so much for joining me on this live session today. I am starting the book reading The Power is Within You on Wednesday, which is 29th of July, from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. India time. So do join, do please oh, you can't copy the link. Okay, but you can just select and then paste it on a different on WhatsApp directly. And if not, I'll share my email address also with you. So my email address is priya at intuitive wisdom. Wisdom is spelled as Wizdom. So priya at intuitivewisdom.com. So that's my email address. If you want to discuss anything, you can write to me here, or you can join us there at a WhatsApp on our chat. So thank you so much, each one of you. Thank you, Jagruti. Thank you, Sonali, for being here for the whole time. And do join. We are doing it from 7:30 to 8:30 India time on weekdays, and it's starting Wednesday. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Priya. Really
having me
looking
over
forward
here.
to the new book reading. Thank you so
Seriously.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you for having us. And yes, I am also looking forward to that new book reading.
Okay.
Nice.
Bye. Thank you.